Wilson FG Tour PMP wedges. Should we take a look? Let's go. So the Wilson FG Tour wedges. They're currently the wedges that are in my bag, and so far so good. Unfortunately, as we all know now, lockdown is well and truly underway and golf courses all over the UK are shut. So for this review, I'm just simply going to tell you the few key factors that made me want to purchase these and why I've put them in my bag over, say, the Vokeys or the TaylorMades or even the Pings. Wilson, in my opinion, don't get looked at enough. I think they're an absolutely fantastic brand. They're well up there with the leading marketers, in my opinion. I don't only have the wedges, I also have one of their putters too, and that is an amazing bit of kit also. The review on that will be coming probably next week, guys. But the FG Tour wedges, guys, like I said, let's have a quick look. So this is it from the back. As you can see, it's a very classic looking wedge. Down at the ball, as you saw in the clip just a minute ago, is a real classic sort of teardrop, curved toe end look behind the ball. I've got this in a satin finish. I must mention these come in 3 different finishes. So they come in a blue finish, which is really nice. For me personally, I'm not a massive fan of too much bling. For me, a club needs to stay sort of chrome or black. They're the 2 sort of finishes I really enjoy in a club. But it comes in a blue. Not quite as blue as, say, the Mizuno, I think it's the TP7, but it is a real nice blue. I'll put an image just up here for you guys, and it also comes in what they call like an oil can finish, which is, to the naked eye, it just looks like a gold finish, which actually is really nice. To be honest, apart from the satin finish of what I've got, that would be my next choice, the oil can. That's designed to potentially rust up a little bit quicker, give you a bit more of the raw face finish that you see a lot of wedges are bringing out these days too. So PMP, Precision Milled Performance. And basically what they're saying with that is the grooves have got inner grooves. So the whole face itself, I'll try and get a close up here, guys. If you can see that, it's quite hard to catch on camera, but it does have, this whole surface here is fully milled. And then what they're saying with the PMP is that it actually has sort of inner grooves within the grooves. Now, a lot of manufacturers are doing this these days anyway, but Wilson sort of caught my eye, really. Like I said, looking down at the ball, there's definitely a significant look behind the ball of almost like a roughness, like it's going to guarantee you a decent amount of spin. Now, like I said, we are in lockdown, so unfortunately I've not been able to get out on the course, but I've been around the garden and I put a few sort of trick shots and a few chips, which I'll put in the video in a little while. And straight away the feel of this club is fantastic. Now, it isn't a forged finish, however, it does come out unbelievably soft. My old wedges were Mizunos and they were forged, and to be honest with you, the Wilson FG Tour is almost as, in my opinion, it feels as good as the Mizuno. Probably slightly bit harder, a little bit firmer off the face, but that's to be expected with, without a forged finish like these Wilsons have. So guys, they come in 3 options of a bounce, basically. So you have the traditional bounce, which is what I've got in my 56. Let me try and turn that around. So it comes, as you can see, the sole is quite a traditional thickness, not overly thick. So, that's more of the traditional of what Wilson call it. It also comes in a tour finish, which is a lot thinner. So that bounce there will be a lot thinner. That's much for your better player. Obviously, the bounce is designed to help you have interaction with the ground. So don't be afraid of bounce, guys. It's a massive help to us amateur golfers. Go for as much bounce as possible, basically, if you're not confident with your chips. In my 60-degree wedge, I actually have it in the 3rd option, which Wilson bring out, and that is the wide bounce, or wide sole. And as you can see straight away, the difference is massive. It's a lot wider, and like I said, this is designed to help with ground interaction. Now, 60-degree wedge, in my opinion, is a wedge that shouldn't be used too often, especially from close, close around the greens. This is, these wedges are designed primarily to get out of bunkers, to get out of areas where you've got to get the ball up quick. Now, I don't use a 60-degree that often, but in my old set of my Mizunos, I found that when I did use it, because the sole and the bounce was quite thin on my Mizunos, I found myself digging the club into the ground a little bit too much, and I lost a lack of performance and confidence with it. So with this, I've got this in the wide sole, and so far, just the shots out of my garden, it's given me a much better confidence to get the ball underneath. To get the club face underneath the ball and allowing that ball to get up. It basically slides up the club face. So if you can sort of picture it here, you can see there how much that, if that's the ground, you're confident enough to hit that ball and hit that ground and know the club will bounce back off like the club is designed to do. Like I said, guys, these clubs are a great value for money. These are obviously clubs from about 2 years old, so now you can pick them up on your golf bidders, your cash for golf, your Gumtrees, your eBays. You can get them for about as little as £50, which is fantastic. I've been really lucky with mine. They're in absolutely perfect condition. Grooves are in great condition, and like I said, where they're not the forged head, one thing I noticed with my forged Mizunos, and a lot of people notice this as well with the irons, people who use forged irons, that they can sometimes pick up a little dinks, a little bag wear, and if there's any little stones in the surface, pick up little chips and stuff like that. And in my Mizuno wedges, I found that over the course of the years of having them, the wear and tear was quite significant. Whereas with these, like I said, these are second hand, and with that slightly different type of head, it's much more wear and tear. You get much more value for your money, in my opinion, and performance doesn't lack. Like I said, I haven't been out in the course, so I couldn't tell you too much on numbers of spin. But overall, so far, it is fantastic. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the videos I put together of me doing some trick shots and some chipping around the garden. And guys, also I've done a video I'll put up in the comments up here of a chipping drill that I think will help you. So I put that up in the comments now. Let's take a look at me hitting a few of these Wilson wedges around my garden. And guys, I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Right guys, hope you enjoyed that little clip. Like I said, a few little trick shots there, and plenty more coming. It's been great fun actually to get out in the garden and just do a bit of stuff using my imagination and so forth. Another thing to mention about these wedges is the weight. Now the weight is definitely heavier than my Mizunos, but not maybe as heavy as some Clevelands that I've used in the past. They're a really nice balance. In my opinion, these clubs can be used from your sort of single figure handicaps all the way up to your 28 handicaps. It's a real nice weighted wedge in both the 60 and 56. Now I haven't got the 52 because my Mizuno 52 does everything. It ticks all the boxes basically. But the weight of these clubs takes the element of you out. Takes the element of you mishitting the ball and you happen to do too much. A lot of people, and you'll see in my drill that I posted up there a little while ago, a lot of people will try and hinge their wrist and do too much with a club face, especially around the greens. In my opinion, keeping your arms nice and straight and almost using the pendulum effect is the way forward. You see professionals like Jason Day do it, and he's very, very effective. Justin Thomas, very similar as well. And with these Wilson wedges, in my opinion, it takes the element of any sort of wrist hinge or overthinking what you've got to do. Just keep your arms straight, and the weight of the head going back to the ball will deliver a great impact and great strike 9 times out of 10. Obviously, it will come down to you too, but having a club that brings you the confidence in the weight and the pendulum effect going back down to the ball into the strike will build your confidence up massively. So guys, that was my review on the Wilson FG Tour PMP, not Pimp as a lot of people think they're called, PMP, Precision Milled Performance Tour Wedges. Guys, massive thank you as always. Do feel free to hit that subscribe button, stick the thumbs up if you like what you're watching, and don't forget to give that bell a ring. For more notifications of me, I'm doing my utmost to bring as much content as possible during this lockdown. It is quite hard thinking of content because motivation at the moment, and I'm sure everyone's in the same boat, motivation is hard at the moment to get yourself out of bed and away from the telly and get into golfing. But guys, if you do watch my channel, I'm very, very appreciative of it. So guys, take care. One last look, the Wilson FG Tour, beautiful bit of kit. Go and give it a go, guys. Take care.